Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 22nd, 2022 Angel Day reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Scorpio, February 22nd, 2022, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the Death card. And the Death card, of course, represents us, Scorpio. So there's a real sense of transformation towards prosperity here, which is absolutely beautiful. Then we have our inner self, the 4 of Swords, and the Devil. The needing to turn inward during this time is going to be very important, to make sure that we're resting, to make sure that we're healing, to make sure that we're also awakening a part of us that has been in hibernation for a really long time. We have to be mindful of the chains that bind us, addictions, doubts, fears, chaos, anxieties that are coming forward, and that we're thinking, oh, I should be going down this way because it's the way that we're more used to. It's the way that everybody seems to be walking, and Spirit's saying, well, why not stand out from the crowd instead of being lost within it? It moves us to our emotional self, the Queen of Pentacles and the 2 of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, prosperity, success, and abundance. Also Earth sign energy coming in, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And then we have the 2 of Swords. This road that we thought we were going to be walking. We thought we could walk this way, like you could turn left or you could turn right. And now we're going to start to see so many more avenues opening up to us than what we had thought of before. It brings us to the public arena self. Now, it's the 7 of Wands and the Knight of Swords. What we have to be mindful of is fighting for the sake of fighting. During this time, it's a time of harmony. It's a time of serenity. And the energy around us is going to be, I need to, stand my ground, hold my space, not let anybody get one up on me. And this isn't saying, roll over and play dead. But what this is saying is be very mindful of how we're spending our energy during this time, how we're fighting, because the Knight of Swords can be a warning of moving too fast towards things, but it's also telling us that we get to be the hero of our story, that we get to embrace our heart and what we desire and what is important to us. And we're starting to elevate ourselves to the next level of consciousness, of awakening, of understanding. So let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Queen of Pentacles. So as much of it as it's blessing us in our emotional self, there's also this energy that isn't going to resonate with us coming forward. It has to do with money. It has to do with success. It has to do with the way that prosperity is viewed. And we're going to want it to work. We really are. It's just not going to be right for us. So do be mindful of that. It moves us to our chakra energy. This is the inner child. And the inner child is our heart chakra. Connecting with our inner child, connecting with the person that we once were, is going to be very important for us. This is a sense of the heart opening up. And I love doing the exercise of just visualizing us holding our arms open to the child that we once were, letting that child run in and telling us that we are loved, we are safe, I will always love you, I will always be here for you, I will always protect you. That is a beautiful thing to tell a child. That is a beautiful thing for our mature self to tell our little self, our young self. So let's talk about this Angel Day, February 22nd, 2022. Now, this Angel Number Day represents harmony and it represents serenity. The angels are letting us know that we must have harmony within our lives, that is so important. This is also a sign of good things to come and that we are entering into a time of peace and stability. We might be meeting our twin flames around this time, which can be a blessing but can also cause a lot of conflict and a lot of intensity, so do be mindful about that. We're also reaching an important milestone in our lives. We can feel that emotionally here at our heart self. Now, if we look at things spiritually and we look at it through the lens of the Bible as a spiritual tool, we see that the repeat of the number 222 is linked not only to the creation of Eve and the first union, but also to the return of Christ to earth. So that's a very big essence of rebirth and also of connection. Now, what's really interesting is that Pluto returns to the same spot it was in 1776 on this day, on February 22nd. And this hasn't happened in 246 years. So it returns to the same spot it was in when the United States was founded. So that is going to be a really big thing for everybody because that energy is just so powerful during this time. This sense of transformation, this sense of power coming forward. So it leads us to the 10 of Pentacles, wealth, prosperity, success, abundance, reaching a completion of a cycle when it comes to our finances and being able to share our wisdom, being able to share our wealth. And then we have the essence of ourselves coming forward, the turning inward, the looking at what we want and what we desire and what's important to us, a sense of, a renewal, a sense of an ending and also a beginning, stepping forward in our lives. We're spiritually growing. We are reborn onto this earth, but we're also reborn into ourselves. The Four of Swords is telling us inwardly, look at ourselves wisely and prosperously. We are being led forward in our rooted self here in a way that calls to the very essence of us and also calls to a greater prosperity within our lives. There's a part of us that has been dormant for just way too long, and there is an awakening coming forward. We're also going to find that we're not fully resting, that we're always kind of ready for the next shoe to drop. So being aware of that during this time is going to be very important to us. Why do we have our armor on? What is holding us back? What is keeping us from moving forward the way that we want to? And what is it that we're going to be walking through? Because we're going to be awakening to something, walking through a change that leads us to a more prosperous time, that leads us into a world that we hadn't thought that we could be a part of. Then we have the devil coming in. Now, the devil always shows us our chains. It's addictions, it's doubts, it's fears, it's chaos. It's what we're doing that's hurting ourselves. And there is this need here to look at chaos and know that, yes, this is a proper part of life and existence, but also to looking at chaos and saying, you're not defining me anymore. You are not what gets to call the shots here. And so we're breaking chains and we're starting to find light within the darkness. If we can see that little fire under the rocks, we're also being guarded. We're being protected during this time as we connect with our natural selves, as we connect with the essence of our being. Prosperity comes forward with the Queen of Pentacles, wealth, prosperity, abundance, how we are nurturing, how we are growing, how we are opening up the door to ourselves, what we love, what we want, the way that we're moving forward for us. It brings us to the Two of Swords. We're going to see a path opening, and we're going to see ourselves moving forward in a way that we hadn't thought of. So the mind and the heart come together at this time. And emotionally, we thought we're going this way. And then, mentally, we thought we were going this way. And yet we find new roads opening. We find new pathways forward that intertwine the two. That's going to be very important. We're going to think, oh, I know. And what Spirit is telling us is that we don't know. This is a time to let our hearts be guided, to see how we are delivered forward. It brings us to the Seven of Wands. In the public arena, we're going to be so used to fighting for what is right, fighting for what we believe in, fighting for our voices being heard, fighting for being seen within our jobs and for ourselves. Fighting for everything is coming forward. And what we're going to find here is that we're wasting so much energy. As soon as we start fighting, we start losing in one way or another. And what Spirit is saying is stand your ground. Know what it is that you want. Be determined, be focused, but don't give your energy to fighting fools all the time, or else you will never stop fighting. It brings us to the Knight of Swords. We're being told to be mindful of charging forward without all the information, but we're also being told here that we can be the heroes of our story, that we cut through doubts and fears and negativity. There's also an energy of somebody who is a bit impetuous coming forward, and somebody who is a bit exciting coming forward. And they're going to bring this energy of, no, this is what you have to fight for. Like, this is the way you have to look at it. And what Spirit is saying is step back, because the elevation of our consciousness, of our energy vibration, is going to be leading us to something more than what we realize. And that is going to be very powerful for us. That's going to be very insightful for us. And there's going to be a revolution that comes forward. So just being aware of that revolution of self, that sense of this is what I want. And so it's making every stance count. It's making every determination, guide us to who we are and what we want and where we want to be within our world. We're slaying, the demons that hold us back, inwardly, mentally, here with the devil card coming forward. That's going to be very prominent within us. We're looking at certain things that had defined us, that made us feel like losers or overwhelmed or like we're not doing it right. And then all of a sudden we're cutting through that chaos, that hurt, that pain, and we're elevating ourselves more and more. That leads us to our subconscious tarot self, and it is the Magician. As above, so below. As I believe it, so it becomes. This is us standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our power, claiming our insight, claiming what it is that we want, and not being held back. There is such a purpose to us during this time that it is astounding. We're also being brave. We're standing before the altar. We're letting ourselves be seen. As above, so below. As we think it, so it becomes. And now it is time to think that we are worthy of taking up our blessings, taking up the elemental power that guides us forward, that leads us forward, and that, embraces our heart and sees ourselves. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the King of Pentacles. It's very interesting. We have a soulmate connection here to be mindful of in the realms of money, in the realms, for some of us, this could be a divorce that goes on that, is financially devastating. This could also be or financially really impactful. It doesn't have to be devastating. That's a dramatic word to use. But it can also be somebody who is a soulmate to us, but in the business world. Like we work really well with them, or we thought we worked really well with them, and now certain things are falling apart. So just be mindful of that. Not even falling apart. It doesn't have to be something as traumatic as that. It's just be mindful of what you were being presented with during this time, because their energy and our energy isn't necessarily going to mesh up. Our subconscious angel energy or chakra energy is angels and masters. This is angels and divinity protecting us, working with us, guiding us, helping us to move forward, and absolutely, embracing who it is that we are and how it is that we are transforming within our lives. Our angels are right there with us on this angel day, and it makes it beautiful. It makes it powerful. It makes it brilliant. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. And may you have a blessed angel day.